Hey, what's up? It's Keith. This video I want to ask you, are you crazy? Are you a schizophrenic? Maybe you're bipolar? I'm kidding, but in a way I'm not. I would like to suggest that, and before I go into this, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a practitioner. I'm not a psychiatrist, any of that stuff. And I'm just speaking based on thoughts and beliefs and opinions. So, are you crazy, or do you have something going on upstairs or in your emotions? I would like to suggest that there's a possibility that some people that even get diagnosed schizophrenic or bipolar or have depression or some type of mental illness sometimes have, just through the stresses in their lives and not having the proper I wiped out on my, if you saw that I wiped out, I was running through a parking lot with my drone and I slipped. I bashed up my knee too because I'm looking up at the drone while I'm running, looking at it, testing out the auto mode, and I trip over a curb and then right on the pavement. Good learning lesson, because I could have, what if I was driving in my truck, like immature, driving, looking at the drone, and then I ran into somebody, right? So I took the fall and I learned whatever. Anyway, so could you be, have something going on? Or maybe there's a possibility you've just worked yourself up into an area of your brain, like an upper quadrant of your brain, that's really tight, and like a pathology that's so stressed out, and you don't have the tools to release or undo those knots to bring yourself back into being centered in your body, centered in consciousness, centered in your breath. What the pharmaceutical industry does and what psychiatrists do, and nothing against them, they're amazing people, because there's people who genuinely, medication could help them heal their lives. I have a couple friends that they're like, dude, I don't know where I would be today without this. And I also want to say, the reason I'm talking about this is there's a time in my life, actually every freaking day, I'm told I should be on medicine. There's something wrong with me. But there's this deep, deep inner knowing that says, no, that's wrong. I think medicine would just put a Band-Aid on the problem, and instead of healing the problem from within and breaking up those pathologies and those knots of consciousness and letting the energy flow and becoming in tuned again and balanced, I'm like, they're just trying to put medication on it, because I believe our society is thousands of years behind, or being held down by certain powers that be, that just want to put a Band-Aid on something and don't want to deal with it, or just want to profit from it, or don't know how to deal with it. So we just try to quarantine it and keep it at bay instead of allowing it to flow and dealing with it as it comes. And so, like I said, I'm not saying I'm 100% right or 100% wrong. I subscribe to the philosophy that everybody is right, and that's like an integral model, which is what they would say integral consciousness. And I'm not claiming to be fully integrated in my consciousness, but I want to say I'm aware of this stuff, and I want to share it with you. So if someone's telling you you're nuts or you should be on medicine, maybe you should be. Maybe it will help you, right? But maybe there's also a possibility, I'm just saying maybe, there's always more than just one answer. For instance, here's a breathing technique. If you join me on my live Periscope show sometimes, it's called @TheEmployeeTrap, hooked up to Twitter. If you don't know what that is, as time goes, you'll probably figure it out. Sometimes at the end of my Periscope videos, we'll do a breathing exercise, and a lot of guys will be commenting on it. Oh my God, this really works. This is how it works. I'll do it real quick, and then I'll explain what it is and why. So take a deep breath with me right now. Deep, deep breath in through your nose all the way to your belly, like this. Hold for 2 seconds at the top of the breath. Exhale. And all the way at the bottom of the breath, hold for 2 seconds. Repeat. And if you repeat that, you breathe in well-being and you breathe in gratitude. And at the bottom, when you exhale, you breathe out and exhale tension. What you're doing is you're stopping the autonomic process of breathing, and you're taking control over it, and you're taking control of your brain frequencies. You have alpha, beta, delta, theta, different states of consciousness, and then you can go, like I say, lines, levels, states, stages of consciousness, integral consciousness. I can't get into all that here. That would be like a 3-hour long video, and I'm not fully qualified to talk about it, but there's certain tools that you can have access to where you don't go total flip jar. You don't go into your pathologies where you get stuck and now you're crazy, you're ADD, you can't think straight, you're frustrated. Let's just say something requires you to be up in your head. Like, you got to get all this stuff done. You got to get a bunch of math and accounting or pay a bunch of bills. You got pressure and deadlines. Maybe just the bills are due and you're stressed out. And someone says, calm down, man. You're so stressed out, man. Calm down. Well, they're not dealing with what you're dealing with, and they can't see just by looking at you. You look like you're crazy, right? And you are. But they don't know what you're dealing with. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know how much shit is on your plate that you've got to get done by this time. So, because maybe you're protecting them. Maybe the stress you're going through and the stuff you're trying to get done is directly proportional, and it is, to keeping food on your table and keeping your family fed. And the very people, listen to me clear, the very people that you're out there fighting the good fight to protect and care for and nurture for are the very same people that are looking at you saying, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy, right? Think about that. Imagine it's like a little baby and you're trying to take care of this little baby. And I'm not a dad yet. I don't know. I think I would be a great dad. I love kids, right? But let's just say you're trying to and this baby's you're trying to change a baby's diaper or something. The kid's fucking peeing on you and punching you in the face and they're like, get away from me. Or let's just say you're trying to give a dog a bath, right? And the dog's fighting you and resisting you, and the dog needs a freaking bath, right? Well, you are leading that dog to a place it can't lead itself, and when it gets out of the bath, it's happy and appreciates you. That would be core masculinity, so to speak. You're leading people to a place they're not able to lead themselves, and it takes consciousness. And there's this masculine, feminine energy. I used to talk about this stuff last year a lot. There's this yin-yang, this balance where sometimes you have to go in one direction really strong and over-polarize on something to get something done. Now that I've said all that, you have to go and over-polarize in one direction to get it done. But what happens is you get stuck over there. You get stuck in that area of your brain, that mind-body connection, and now you're fucking crazy. Now that the task is accomplished, and I know you got a lot of things going on and lots of deadlines, right? Whatever that may be for you. But now the task is accomplished, you're still stuck up in that thing, and you can't even sit down and eat a meal with somebody. You can't even sit there and look them eye to eyes and have conversation with them. Have you ever talked to somebody who was so stuck in their head that they're like, and you're like, whoa, dude, calm down, whoa. They're not creating any space for you in the conversation. It's just them. They're stuck in their head. They can't even listen to you because they're so stuck, right? So people get stuck in that, and they're heady, right? They're heady. They're stuck in their pathologies. They're neurotic. They're stuck in their emotions. They haven't stopped and reconnected. Well, the life that we live in, the society that we live in, requires a lot of that headiness. It requires so much headroom, like RAM space on a computer, of multitasking, of so much to deal with at once, that things in the environment, like the dog barking in the background, that can trigger a neurosis where you start going, damn it, I'm trying, right? And we get stuck there. And all those happen, and then we get stuck in all those. Now we got all these things happening, all these knots in our consciousness, and then we become neurotic. We develop neurosis. Some people get so stuck there that they can't let it go. So, what do you mean? I'm like this because of this. I have these legitimate reasons why I'm like this, and I have to be like this. It's true, but only for those moments. Once the moment is past, say, what if you had to defend yourself and you got in a fight with somebody, right? You're walking out of CVS. Some dude looks at you, spits right in your eye. Oh, he's getting blasted, right? You're fighting all over the concrete, right? You beat him up. And now you go home, some dude spitting me in the eye. Well, don't do that because you're going to go to jail. I think that no matter like what happens, just avoid conflict at all costs as far as like fighting. If someone spit in my eye, I don't care. They're getting blasted right in the face, dude. I had this thing back in school. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy. If anybody would like touch me or lay their hands on me, you know, I'm not just saying someone hit me on the shoulder, what up, Keith? A friend, you just blast them in the face. But if anybody ever was confrontational with me, because I got in probably quite a few fights back in school. If anybody like put their hands on me, I couldn't help it. They were getting socked in the face. Like there was something wrong with me. I don't know, something. So I'm saying, see, man, I'm getting too far. I'm getting there right now. I'm getting stuck up in there saying you should defend yourself at all costs. Like, what does that have to do with this video, man? Let me get back on track. See, that's why you watch my videos, because you're like, this motherfucker's crazy, just like me. I love him. He's great. I'm just kidding. Go back to the point. So we tend to get stuck there. We have all these pathologies and all these. We become neurotic. We don't know how to get out of that and get back into our bodies. Elliot Hulse talks about some stuff like this. I totally forgot. Elliot Hulse. Look this guy up if you're into this stuff. He's this bodybuilder dude. Looks you dead in the eyes. And he speaks truth. Very awesome dude, right? So, who else if you're into this stuff? David Deida. Daviddeida. David Deida has a book called The Way of the Superior Man. Amazing. If you have conflict in relationship, maybe you're not married, David D'Angelo, awesome. Who else? Ken Wilber. These are all authors, writers, speakers, people like that. They talk about this stuff. It's amazing. There's so many of them. But anyways, so in order to communicate with people at your best and not be stuck up in all this like heady neurosis, the breathing exercise and other exercises work. And then it'll finally get to the point where maybe you can remove trying so hard to be balanced and in the present moment and now. And you can just see it and anticipate it as it's coming. And then you could say, oh, here comes my trigger. Coach Rob taught me a lot of this stuff from egoedge.com. He's my life coach. When that stuff comes and you're going to get triggered where you start reacting, that's when you can beforehand go up, and then it'll pass right through and you're fine. So when other people start freaking out, you become calmer. Where you normally used to freak out and get anxiety and get tense, you get very calm, and then you're more effective, and you become the effective executive. Alright, cool. I'm going to end this video now. This is like 13 minutes so far, dude. I would like to make a lot more videos like this with breathing exercises, techniques, and stuff like that. And the reason I'm talking about this, I'm actually doing a program right now with Coach Rob from egoedge.com. This guy's phenomenal. He's an NLP certified, that's Neuro-Linguistic Programming certified hypnosis master. And aside from that stuff, what he is, he's a genuine dude who is a personal mastery coach. I don't know where I would be without him. Very wise guy, very phenomenal human being. I've been cool with him for like 6 years now, 7 years, and never once have I ever seen him lose his composure or act out of character or anything. The most mentally stable person I know, because he's a freaking life coach. This guy's genius. But I'm not going to give you his website or nothing like that. I'm just putting a program with him behind the scenes. We're doing filming and taping and put together a podcast. It's so much work, and I love doing it because it genuinely helps people. Because I needed the help back in the day. When I was in my mid-20s, I was a mess. I was so headstrong and so gung-ho, and I found myself at a dead end in my life where I had a breakdown, dude, because I didn't know how to be balanced, and he taught me how to get all that back. Dude's phenomenal. All right, end that video. Peace.